What is up, guys? DwkVideos. I make military content, put on the internet for you guys to enjoy. If you want, my social media links are in the description down below. Today, I have another YouTuber. I'm going to let her introduce herself. Also, her social media links will be the first things in the description as soon as you open it up if you want to give her a follow. I'll cut out this awkward in between. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, hello, guys. My name is Amanda, or also known as MandaFitPanda here on YouTube. Do I do like all the whole like?
Yeah, like tell us.
What do I say?
Yeah, I would tell us your backstory, the job you got, when you started YouTube, why you started YouTube.
Okay, cool. So I've been making YouTube videos probably for, I want to say, since 2010. I've been making all kinds of videos, and now recently I started doing military, Navy related videos just because I joined the Navy back in May of this year. So I swore in April, and I shipped out May 9th for boot camp, and I graduated boot camp July 6th. My rate is, I'm an IC, so interior communications electrician. Basically all we do is work on phones and put on your guys' movies, apparently, according to everybody else out there. But we do a lot more stuff. So yeah, that's really it. You know,
I tried to look up your job because I knew you were an IC, but like, to be honest, because I'm a corpsman, I'm only stationed with Marines, and then I only deployed with Marines, so I've never like been on a ship, so I don't really know like what they do in like a day-to-day.
Yeah, right. So I don't really know what we do on a day-to-day either, just because I haven't been on a ship. I'm still in A school right now, but from what all of my instructors have told me is we do a lot of maintenance on our equipment. So we have equipment all the way from the pilot house, which is, you know, the main bridge where you steer the ship, and then obviously we have equipment in all of the compartments when it comes to like alarms, flooding alarms. We control the air alarms. So if there's any chemicals in the air, those alarms we maintenance. And then we also have equipment down in the engine room, on like the propeller shaft and on the rudder and the emergency trick wheel. So we have stuff all over the ship, and it's insane.
Got it. For these people hitting me up on Instagram, I just wrote down a bunch of questions. So first one is basically tips for success in the military. Generalized tips, because I know that's like a really vague question, but how to be successful amongst your peers, I guess, is what he was getting at.
Right. So I know for me, I think what really helped me, like especially I've noticed this in boot camp, a lot of people were really kind of like upset or, you know, stressed out, like all the time, obviously, because you're in P days and whatnot. And I think one thing that I noticed that I did a lot was I felt like I was their consultant at the time. Like I was just making sure, you know, like, hey, everything's going to be all right. We're going to get through this. And I think that's kind of one thing that attracted a lot of people towards me. And I think that's something that I like to continue out, like now that I'm out of boot camp, because like I don't have a lot of military experience. Obviously you have a lot more than I do, so you can probably speak more on that. But for me, I know like you have to be nice to people and make them feel like you care about them in order for them to kind of, you know, find trust within you. And then that's just going to make you successful all around, I feel.
True.
So just be nice to people.
No, I feel that. I feel like not the grungiest, like the most unpleasant people to talk with never really go far, and if they are far, they're probably not going to get much farther because now they're already disgruntled. Shitty attitudes don't take you anywhere. The next one, which is like because you're one of the biggest fitness channels out of our little community of Navy fitness YouTubers. So how to stay fit, fitness motivation, what gets you to go to the gym?
You know, that PRT that you have to do every 6 months or a year. That's
yeah, but you're like, you know, into fitness, not just like a Navy like anyone should be able to just show up to the PFT and at least get a sat, you know? Like what makes you want to do, because I saw you doing some CrossFit and it's the day before Christmas, so what makes you want to do this type of fitness?
So for me, I think when I started getting into fitness, I was in a very like, I didn't really have any friends at the time. So it was something that kind of drew me in to, you know, kind of meet people and make friends. And then the more that I started going, the more friends that I started making. And the community, I think, is what draws me in a lot more to do fitness. And then as far as like CrossFit, because I played sports in high school, like it is kind of the same concept where you guys are a team, you're working together, and you're also kind of competing against each other. But also too, just every day, you know, I like the way that it makes me feel. I have more energy. I feel, you know, empowered to do a lot more things when I know I can, you know, pick up a 60-pound bag, you know, that I thought I couldn't lift before. Whereas now, you know, I'm doing all these lifts. And it's very motivating to see how far you can go. And that's kind of why I, you know, continue to go to the gym, you know?
True. So are you more into powerlifting, bodybuilding, and or CrossFit, obviously, because you're already doing calisthenics, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I started out really with like bodybuilding style because I had like a weight loss, you know, kind of journey. And then I realized that I liked food too much, so I decided to go towards like powerlifting. And then when I found the CrossFit community and I saw that it was more like that, you know, sports type of feel to me, I like CrossFit like a lot. I know a lot of people hate on CrossFit, but I think the community is what makes CrossFit so strong. So if I were to choose one or the other, I feel like CrossFit, because also it helps kind of with like your PRT and getting better scores. Because my goal is to get like an outstanding, you know, low, high, around there. But that's something that really helps as far as like military.
What is your take on officers so far from your perspective? Obviously, we're going to have different perspectives because the only officers I'm around are like doctors, nurses, which, yes, they're officers. However, they act more in a civilian standpoint. They kind of just like, they only do doctor stuff and wear a uniform. They're not really marching with us. They're not showing up to our PTs. I mean, they can if they want, but they're not. So what's your perspective on your surface officers that you're all, I'm assuming, often around in Great Lakes?
So I'm going to say a little bit of like how you said the officers in the medical area, because I know we have a lot of officers obviously at our clinics, and they're so nice. They're the nicest people I've probably ever met, and like they, you know, they'll greet you all the time, doesn't matter. Whereas like some of the other officers that we have on base, like if you're walking outside and you see, you know, an ensign or you see a captain, and you, like, a lot of times they'll try to look the other way so that they don't have to salute you, but then like there's those few younger ensigns that are just fresh, you know, fresh in the uniform, and you don't salute them, they lose their mind. Like, it's insane. So we have an officer in charge of our barracks, and he is a chief warrant officer, and he is probably the most humble man I've ever met in my entire life, because he's been in the field with everybody, and he knows how to talk to everybody. He makes you feel so welcome, and those are the type of officers that like I love interacting with, just because they're, you know, they don't kind of have a stick up their butt, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of, they actually like talk to you. So, I mean, sometimes they'll salute you. Sometimes, you know, you can just kind of keep going the other way. But like, you know, you want to make sure that you are aware and know who you're saluting, and, you know the time and place for sure. True.
The next one, this kind of gets into the field one. One of the viewers said, how is life as a female? She's under the impression that there's constant harassment towards females, guys always trying to get at you, even if you have like a boyfriend, husband, stuff like that. Or is it chilled, laid back, and no difference from being one of the guys?
So I'm going to keep it kind of simple. That way I don't, you know, go into big of a detail. All I can say is stand your ground, because you learn, obviously, you know, throughout boot camp and pretty much your entire naval career, you know, don't harass people, but there's still going to be people that do it. So my biggest thing is stand your ground, you know, be very cordial with people. Don't be rude, because you don't want to burn bridges. But yeah, if you've got somebody who doesn't leave you alone, because that can happen, don't be afraid to tell somebody about it, because I feel like now in the civilian life, like, people just kind of let things happen, whereas like in the Navy, it's a really big deal, military overall. We do a lot to obviously kind of diminish that, but for me, I stand my ground. I tell people to go away all the time. It's like, nope, not happening.
Good, good. Yeah, I'm glad. And I'm totally gonna push more of my like female subscribers towards your way so they can ask these types of questions, because I'm just not as educated, nor should my opinion really be valued as much. So this one was another female one that I can't really answer. Tips for dealing with, quote, aunt flow during boot camp, which, you know, period, for those viewers who don't know what they're talking about.
Right. So I talked about this in my boot camp for girls video. Just know that it's going to happen maybe once. And then I think with all the hormones that they shoot you up with, and then all of the hormones that you're going through, you're probably not going to get it again. So don't worry about not having anything to be prepared. Your yeoman will carry that stuff on them at all times.
Nice.
So when it happens, you're good. You're covered. Don't worry about it. They'll take care of you. I promise.
Is that just due to stress that you guys normally don't have periods during boot camp?
I think so. That's what a lot of people say. But like even after that, like it still didn't happen for a couple of months. So
that's fucking scary.
I mean, not really. Not when you're, you know. And they give you birth control in boot camp too. So.
Oh, that's good.
You know, you're good. You're covered.
And the very last one I want to hit on: if you could change your job to anything else, what would it be and why?
Well, I think because I'm surrounded by a bunch of GMs, I would probably, like, wait, as in job, like as in this Navy job, right?
Yeah, you're right. Not like don't leave the Navy.
Okay, yeah. No,
I want to be a civilian.
Yeah, no. I'd probably want to be a GM just because their opportunities to go, you know, riverine, to go, you know, like out and, you know, in the midst of things. I'd probably want to do that just because I'd like to be in more action. But honestly, GM, because you know, you can sometimes shoot stuff, you know, not all the time, but
true.
Yeah.
Also, so you can get that huge tattoo on your shoulder that all of them have. Just
probably the one on the hands where, you know, you get the little GM.
Yeah. Like, that's like every corpsman has a caduce. Fuck, you don't have camera on of me, but like pretty much every corpsman has a caduce tattooed somewhere on them. It's like it's a have to. It's a boot thing, but everyone does it.
Right? Yeah, I know. Me and my friends are probably gonna get IC Mafia tattooed on the inside of our lip. I'm kidding.
Fuck it, do it. Our Navy regs are probably the most relaxed. But thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna cut off the video and then we'll talk about the stream. All right. Do you want anything to say to the stream? I'm gonna link all your stuff down below. So.
No, just thank you for having me. This was great. This was awesome. You know, keep doing you.
Oh yeah, go team. Go team. All right.